Previously on the Spectre.
Ah, thank you. Some light. Wait, shit.
Well, this sure sucks. I can help you with that. I've heard about your Lord and Savior about 1,000,000 times. Please leave me alone. Oh, you're not a Jehovah's Witness. For the low, low price of $10 and your firstborn agender kid, I can get you something called the New Matrix. Sounds awesome. Where do I sign up? Right here. This is exactly like my old house. But it's new, is it not? Well, I guess, but contract says no bitching. Good day to you. Hey there, I'm the Spectre in video games? New Super Mario Bros. Was released to the Nintendo DS in 2006 and was met with critical praise. It had been 14 years since the last 2D Mario platformer, so fans were ecstatic. Among other things, the game featured 80 well-designed levels, a boppin' soundtrack, and fun side modes such as mini-games or multiplayer. The game was received well by all audiences, receiving raving reviews from both critics and fans. Fast forward to 3 years later when we get New Super Mario Bros. Wii. The game was met with mostly critical praise, mainly due to having 4-player co-op, as well as the fact that it featured 77 regular levels plus 5 coin levels, a bopping soundtrack, again, and fun multiplayer battle modes. While it was mostly praised, some felt as though the new branding was odd, and that the game was a bit too similar to the DS version. Fast forward to 3 years later, yet again, where we have New Super Mario Bros. 2. The game was received fairly by all audiences, as it featured 81 well-designed regular levels, a completely reused but still pretty boppin' soundtrack, and a fun side mode called Coin Rush. I'm beginning to notice a trend here. New Super Mario Bros. 2, while getting decent praise from critics, was rated pretty average at best from fans. Fast forward to 4 months later, where we get New Super Mario Bros. U. 80-ish well-designed levels, fun side modes, boppin' but mostly reused soundtrack, you get the gist of it. Like its predecessor, despite its amazing level design filled with unique gimmicks, its reception was mixed. If you've been paying attention, you notice that the games have been getting less and less praise, at least from fans, despite their striking similarities. But why? And is it just? Today we're going to be delving into why people dislike the New Super Mario Bros. Series and debunking some frequent criticisms. Let's go. Before we get into the criticisms, let's start with why I believe the games are worthy of more praise. First off, the level design is consistently phenomenal throughout all 4 games. It feels like each and every level was crafted with care, with few to none of them being unenjoyable to play through. Star coin placement is hidden yet not absurd, enemies are obstacles without being unfair, and gimmicks are fun but never overstayed their welcome. Speaking of gimmicks, and I know I'm gonna get flame blasted for this, but the levels are very unique as well. I know, but hear me out. Sure, the level themes and tile sets are pretty generic and reused in each game. You've got grass, desert, beach, jungle, and snow in different orders depending on the game, mountain, sky, and volcano. But the levels within these worlds each feel very unique, often with a fun gimmick, such as a level made entirely out of pipes, a roller coaster through a dangerous volcano, the one with a ton of cobwebs you can climb on and spiders everywhere, an underwater level where a sea dragon is in constant pursuit of you, the one with Dory going through a poisonous swamp, the one with the dumb derpy flying manta rays, the sunset one with lots of snake blocks, an elevator through dangerous territory in which you must keep other entities off of it so you may continue going up, the one with the propeller platforms and chain chomps, a level that changes depending on whether or not the switch on the world map is pressed, a level where you must use background details to protect yourself from the Koopa stone gaze, a tower filled with traps that can only be traversed via a giant snake block, and of course, everyone's favorite, parabeetles. Even levels without fancy gimmicks stand out in one way or another, usually by theming the level around certain enemies, such as snowball throwing spikes, pokies, sharks, flying squirrels, amps, skeeters, etc. The sheer amount of examples I provided for you should be enough to prove my point, and I'm just scratching the surface. Another thing I like about the games are their soundtrack. Yes, I know, 3/4 of the games have the same soundtrack, but is that really a bad thing when the soundtrack is as good as it is? Almost every tune is really catchy, and the vast majority of them are upbeat, putting you in the perfect mood to play some Mario. Some of my favorites include Yu's athletic theme, DS's castle theme, DS's beach theme, and Wii's desert theme. Yet another one of my favorite aspects of the series, or at least the console ones, would definitely be the multiplayer. New Super Mario Bros. Wii is one of the first notable platformers to feature 4-player co-op. One of the biggest complaints about the multiplayer is that it is overly chaotic, and my response to that is that a bad thing? Sure, it isn't really cooperative, but some of my favorite moments from the game come from trying to beat the level while at the same time kill my friends as many times as possible. If you go into the game's multiplayer with that mindset, I guarantee you and your friends will enjoy it significantly more, and you'll also make more memories. At the cost of your friendships, but who cares about those, am I right? Am I right? Now it's time to address the complaints about the series. The only major complaint I see consistently from many people is that the game lacks originality. But here's the thing about that. The series as a whole lacks originality. Each of the games feel overly similar to each other, and they were releasing the games way too close together. I won't deny that. But that doesn't affect the game's standalone quality. Each of these has the same qualities of excellent level design, fun side modes, the works. Yet people don't look at New Super Mario Bros. Wii, 2, and U as a new game, they look at it as part of a series, which ruins it for them. I see this complaint rather frequently in the gaming community, looking at games as parts of a whole rather than wholes themselves. Sure, in comparison to the other Paper Mario games, Sticker Star is utter trash, but if you look at it as a standalone title, it becomes less bad, because you don't think of it as ruining the Paper Mario series, and you aren't constantly comparing it to its predecessors. The same thing can be said for the New Super Mario Bros. Series. It's the company's fault that there are too many New Super Mario Bros. Games, not New Super Mario Bros. U's fault. If you look at the games, pretending the previous ones in the series didn't exist, I guarantee you will like them more, and you will notice the polish, uniqueness, and level design similar to New Super Mario Bros. DS, instead of just calling it another New Super Mario Bros. Game and moving on. Overall, the New Super Mario Bros. Games are phenomenal, with excellent level design, fun side modes, a catchy soundtrack, and chaotic but amazing multiplayer. Sure, there are a lot of them, and they're all pretty similar, but that doesn't drop the quality of the games at all. But maybe I'm just stupid. If you disagree with me, feel free to let me know in the comments below. I'm more than open to debate, but please don't be a dick about it. Keep things civil down there. This has been the Spectre, and remember to have fun, stay safe, and I'll see you next time. Actually, I won't. Next episode will be run by, drumroll please, the new Spectre. I have multiplayer.